And the Colts absolutely have to lock Daniel Jones up because of what we are currently witnessing with the Minnesota Vikings. If Kevin O'Connell can't get you to play quarterback at a high level, then things probably aren't going to pan out very well for you in the NFL. You could make a real argument that the Indianapolis Colts are the best team in the NFL. I would not agree with that, but you could make the argument. And a large part of it has to do with them bringing in Daniel Jones this year. And the Colts absolutely have to lock Daniel Jones up because of what we are currently witnessing with the Minnesota Vikings. Daniel Jones is pretty clearly this year Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold had a top 5 year statistically last year for a 14-3 Vikings team. Daniel Jones is currently top 5 in yards, completion percentage, yards per attempt. You can just work your way down the list. He's basically top 5 in everything except for touchdown passes, and he's thrown 13, and that's tied for 11th. For reference, Aaron Rodgers is tied for 3rd, and he's thrown 16. So he's having an outstanding year. He is far exceeding everybody's expectations, especially my own. I didn't think that he was going to be very good. It's the reality of it. We have a great example of why you have to lock these guys up as soon as it happens. We saw Tampa Bay lock up Baker as soon as they could. The Vikings last year had an opportunity to bring back Sam Darnold and to allow him to continue to be their starting quarterback. They didn't. It was a mistake. I'm not going to sit here and act like I was one of the people being like, you absolutely have to bring back Sam Darnold, because that would be a lie. I was firmly in the camp of, you drafted J.J. McCarthy in the first round for a reason. Let's see what he's got. And I was wrong as well. With that being said, my job's not on the line for being wrong about that. So the Vikings missed out on an opportunity to have a legitimate franchise quarterback going forward, because that's what Sam Darnold's been in Seattle. Instead, they opted for J.J. McCarthy coming off of the meniscus tear. He sprains his ankle, misses 7 weeks, and they've been, running Carson Wentz out there for the past few weeks now, and it kind of feels like a soft benching of J.J. McCarthy. And I know that they're saying that he was still recovering. I just find it, I guess it's just a coincidence that as soon as Carson Wentz is out for the rest of the year, J.J. McCarthy is immediately ready to go this week to play against the Lions. So, I don't know. Now they're going to force him to play. They're going to continue to struggle because of it, because J.J. McCarthy, he's played like one good quarter against the Bears in week 1. Meanwhile, if they had Sam Darnold, then at a minimum, I think they'd be competing to win their division. At a minimum, they would be a wild card team in the playoffs. But now they're fighting for a top 10 pick, where they may have to take another quarterback depending on what's going on with J.J. McCarthy. Quick aside here on J.J. McCarthy before I go back to the Colts. If Kevin O'Connell can't get you to play quarterback at a high level, then things probably aren't going to pan out very well for you in the NFL. We'll see how J.J. McCarthy responds, coming back off of this sprained ankle. I think it's going to continue to go poorly. I think he could have played a week or two ago, but the Vikings were like, we'd rather play Carson Wentz. And if a team would rather play Carson Wentz than you, the writing may or may not be on the wall for you. Meanwhile, we have the Colts, who are in a very similar situation. They can pay Daniel Jones, or they can let him walk in favor of Anthony Richardson or another retread quarterback. Decisions. I think I know what the Colts are going to do here. They're going to bring him back. They're going to tell you that they really like Anthony Richardson, and maybe they do. I'm sure that they do. The guy seems really nice. The issue is that guy can't stay on the field. He fractured his eye when he wasn't even playing. He did it stretching while warming up with these bands, right? And so it's incredible. It's like you can't trust that guy to be your franchise quarterback. Now, the Colts have to navigate this water of how much money do we pay Daniel Jones. The Giants gave him $40 million a year, and everything got significantly worse after they made that decision, and the Colts have to avoid making the same mistake. And what I am hoping happens for this Indianapolis Colts team is they sign him to the same Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, Geno Smith contracts that all three of them got. Sam Darnold signed a 3-year, $100.5 million deal with the Seahawks in the offseason. Baker Mayfield, when the Bucs originally signed him, he got a 3-year, $100 million deal, but he can make up to $115 million in incentives. Geno Smith, he got a 2-year, $75 million extension with the Raiders this offseason. He can make up to $85 million. Daniel Jones needs to be paid around the same thing. He needs to make somewhere around $30 million a year. I think anything more than that could really ruin things for this Indianapolis Colts team, because they don't just only have to worry about his contract this year. All of their good players, this offseason and next, a lot of them, their contracts expire. They already took care of their left tackle, Bernard Ryman. He got a 4-year, $100 million extension, so he's locked up. He's good to go. But Braden Smith, the right tackle, his contract expires at the end of the year. Alec Pierce, their awesome deep threat, his contract expires. On the defensive side of the ball, former first-round pick, Kwity Paye, his contract expires. Nick Cross, former third-round pick, who's been really good for them the last 2 years, his contract expires at the end of this year. You probably want to bring back your right tackle and your second-best wide receiver. I would think so. And then next year, all of their really big-time players hit free agency. Jonathan Taylor's going to be a free agent. Michael Pittman Jr., their best receiver, he's going to be a free agent. Quentin Nelson, the best offensive guard in football this year, he's going to be a free agent. DeForest Buckner and Grover Stewart, two very important interior defensive linemen for them, they're both going to be free agents. Josh Downs, Kenny Moore, their excellent nickelback. His three best receivers are all going to be free agents, either this year or next year. His starting right tackle, his best offensive lineman, they're all going to be free agents. And if the Colts overpay Daniel Jones, then you're not going to be able to bring a majority of these guys back. And I know everyone loves Chris Ballard, but you can't trust him to draft well enough to replace all of these guys. He's really struggled especially in the first round, to bring in really good players. And so, hopefully, the Colts can keep this contract down to around $30 million a year. If they do that, then they'll be able to bring not all of these guys back, but hopefully a lot of them, and then they'll be able to kind of keep this good thing rolling that they've got going on. The other important part of this, I believe he is extension eligible. So they need to get this done in the season. And that's really important because the Minnesota Vikings are having some quarterback issues, and they like Daniel Jones. They had him in their building last year after Daniel Jones left the Vikings. They like him. They wanted to bring him back this year to be the backup to J.J. McCarthy. And he thought that he had a better chance of winning this quarterback battle here in Indianapolis. That's where I reside. And he was right. He won it fairly easily from my understanding. And so they need to get it done during the season. That way they don't get caught doing a bidding war with the Minnesota Vikings again. If you stayed till the end of the video, you liked something, so make sure you do yourself a favor and subscribe.